Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Lorelei Shimayo. We're We Metaphysical Fairs for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have fairs throughout the Northwest and online. We're in Seattle, Portland, Salem, and Eugene, and we interview our practitioners and vendors so you get a chance to know who we are before you meet us at an event. Here today, I'm interviewing Henry India Holden. Henry, it's lovely to be with you.
Hi.
So what is it that you offer? What is it that you offer at our events?
Yeah, what I offer at the events is, first of all, tarot counseling coaching sessions. So my tradition comes from Jungianism particularly, and also from just generations of females, women, generations of women who were connected with the divine in a more noticeable way than people typically are. So I very much feel divinely guided in the readings. And like these are the cards I use, which is the Gaian Tarot by Joanna Powell Colbert. Like, look at this Ace of Earth. And I also love that it's the elements here. There we go. Now you can see that. It's just really beautiful cards. They're from the Pacific Northwest. And I like to use the cards to kind of get deep, do the deep dive right away, because like when I do coaching, which I'm a certified life coach as well, when I do coaching, sometimes it takes a few weeks before we get to this place of comfort where people reveal themselves, and then we can work with what there's to work with. And with the cards, it just bypasses that. It's sort of like music can bypass your intellect. So it bypasses whatever the barriers might be, and we can go very deeply. And the sitter, the person who is getting the reading, they are connecting with the imagery. And Carl Jung talked a lot about that, and also Joseph Campbell, about how imagery is often how we express what is hard to put into abstract and symbolic language. And so it's there, the cards are there for us to tap into the supra or subconscious. The supraconscious, Carl Jung was talking about, is the consciousness that we all share. Sort of like a world soul, like that's what Atman is, what it's called in Hinduism, a world soul that we share. And then, of course, we all know the subconscious is like what's below the surface that we might not have access to. So it's there. It interacts with us. It shapes our lives. It shapes our decisions and our experiences and how we respond to the world. But it's just right outside the circle of our awareness, and we often don't quite have access to it, or it gets sort of muted, so that the inner wisdom can get muted. And then with the card reading, that all can come forward and we can use it. And then at the same time, like I was saying, I'm also divinely guided. So it's interesting. I usually point here, and for me, this is the right side. I feel like I'm getting the divine voice coming in. And usually either with words or with images or with things that just feel like my thoughts, except that they're totally non sequitur sometimes. And that's the guidance. And that's usually spot on, where it's something, I have to tell you that's coming in. I hope this makes sense for you. And then the person goes, oh yeah, oh my gosh, that's exactly it. So that's how it goes in the reading. Mm-hmm. And tarot was something I didn't think I would ever do. My dad was very scientifically minded. My mom was the medium, and I'm both. So I always felt like tarot, that's not very credible in certain people's eyes, and how would I deal with that? But I met Gaia Hawken, an old lady who was a powerhouse. I would say somebody maybe up in years, but total powerhouse. She's the 8th generation tarot reader in her family. And I heard her give a talk about the symbology of the tarot, and she started out with saying these cards themselves don't mean anything, but they are a gateway to the meaning. And I'm like, yeah, I connect with that. And I meant to say to her, so great talk. I really appreciated it. And what comes out of my mouth is, will you teach me? And it kind of ambushed me that way. And I ended up, she's like, yeah, she gave me her card and she tested me, made me sweat. My God, it was so intense, and I didn't even know it was happening. And then she taught me, and I just took to it literally like duck to water. I'm like, fine, I'm going to be doing that because that obviously is my calling. That obviously is my hero's journey, the way Joseph Campbell talks about it. And I'm just reconciled to the fact that there are people who don't understand it, or people who reject it, or have whatever story they have about it, and just respect that. Mm. I'm not sure I answered your question. But
oh, it's great. It's great. It's great to hear where people come from and like, how did we get, how do people open to the work that they do?
Yeah.
So what do people typically come to you for? Do they get intrigued by you, by the cards, by particular questions? Like what happens?
I think that people come to me for a number of reasons. Sometimes, of course, it has nothing to do with me and I'm just there. And like when the market is open, which right now it's closed because of the coronavirus. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I'm not sure.
It's okay. We're still doing lots of work online, and people just know when we recorded. It's good.
Yeah, exactly. So I have a booth there on Sundays, and I call this my ministry because people are not self-selected. They're not seeking me out because that's what they're looking for. They're in the market, and they're there for an experience, and they see me, and oftentimes we make eye contact. And as soon as that happens, for certain people, it's like they see truth, they see authenticity and honesty. That's the feedback I get from people. And they feel like it's going to be safe and it's going to be meaningful for them. And also, basically, what I put out there is, are you undecided about something? Come in and have a reading for clarity. Because I'm telling you, we have the wisdom and the knowledge and what we really want and what really serves us within us. And we just sometimes can't access it, or something has happened that obscures that access. And so people see that and like, yeah. So people come to me if they have life changes, or if they've just gone through a life change. They come to me if they don't know what to do with their lives. And it's just in the as I'm shuffling the cards and we're defining what question do you have in this reading, what do you want to explore, already within that it begins, because I'm also a life coach, it begins that they're seeing that the question that they were really asking is, what can I do that is meaningful to me but also pays the bills? Right? Like these kind of barriers that are in the way of asking the questions that are really salient to our soul. And so that's already getting defined and sort of revealed. And then we do the cards, and for some just miraculous reason, the cards just tell the story that needs to be told in that moment, the story that illuminates for the person whatever they need to illuminate. So I am especially attuned to people's life purpose. And that's not to say that you have to have one. I think reason is its own, life is its own reason for being, and that's enough. You don't have to add. It's sort of like a 5-star gourmet meal, and then you're asking for more condiments. It really doesn't need that. Life is holy and sacred, and we're all connected in that sacredness, but sometimes we feel like something's missing. I want something more. I want, what am I supposed to be doing? And so we look for that. And that always gets revealed, because it's really not that you have to find it. It's not that you have to come up with it or invent it or create it. It's there. It was there the moment you were born. It's always there. It's basically what is your unique expression of the divinity that you are. That's really what it is. And whatever that is for you, that's going to be your purpose. That's your purpose. It's actually pretty simple when you get things out of the way. So really a tarot reading is revelatory in that it gets out of the way what keeps you from connecting with what there is for you. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, very much.
Yeah.
Lovely. I love the way you articulate things, the way you
thank you.
You bring like what's so important, like right there to the surface.
Yeah, great. Yeah, and I'm not sure that I thanked you yet for having me in this interview. I really appreciate it. That you make that available. Thank you so much. And thank you for creating the MeWe and for having it be online and everything that you're doing. I really feel that you are a massive light in the world, and I'm so grateful that I get to participate with you. Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. It's lovely to have you. We haven't played together as much lately, and it's lovely to be back together with you again.
Yeah.
If people want to connect with you, they want to learn more about you and connect with you, where do they go?
They can come to my website, allisdivinetarot.com, or tarot, right? I'm German, so I'm German, therefore I'm pronouncing it the French way. Go figure.
Do you want to go ahead and spell it for people just in case they're not sure how to spell things?
ALLISDIVINE.com. Is that the whole thing?
Allisdivine.com? TAROT.com.
Is divine. Yeah, right. That's right. Tarot. I forgot the all important tarot. Okay, should we do it one more time?
Just go ahead and do it one more time.
All right. ALI. It's this right here. ALLIS as in Sam, D as in dog, IVINE, T as in Tom, AROT as in Tom.com.
And I actually think you did beautifully in a way, because really all is divine, and that's what is.
That's so true. That's so true. You got it.
Tarot, however you pronounce it, is doorway. Yeah. Doorway.
Yeah.
Well, and is there any other way besides your website that you want people to be able to get in touch with you?
Absolutely. They can absolutely get a hold of me on WhatsApp at Henry India Holden. And also on Facebook, same thing, Henry India Holden. And so we can do chat. And of course, they can also get a hold of me on Zoom. They can invite me there. And my phone number is available most hours of the day, usually between about 11 and 4. It's
Pacific time.
Yeah, 11 and 4 is the best time to get a hold of me. It's 206-790-2331.
That's great. And the spelling of your name will be in all the write-ups with the video. And if anyone doesn't see it, it's HOLDEN.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and so Henry is sort of the name I go by as a non-binary person. And so a lot of my clients and people that gravitate toward me are either just generally in the LGBTQIA community, or maybe are non-binary. I discovered that in 2015, and I added Henry to honor the masculine part of myself. So it's Henry India Holden, and I go by Henry for short.
That's great. It's been lovely being with you, Henry.
Yeah, same here.
And so for those of you listening and watching, you can find out more about us at MeWeFairs.com. That's MEWEFAIRS.com. Thanks so much, Henry.
Thank you so much. See you later.